and welcome to another episode of NatChat, the Natilik Podcast. And today we're going to be talking about all things VMware. So I am joined by Nick Diesel, one of our Natilik solution architects, and Khara, Millar, and Mark Fuller, our VMware specialists aligned to Natilik. So hi guys, hope you're doing well.
Hi.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
So VMware. Probably one of the most known names in technology. I wouldn't be surprised if every single listener to the Natilik podcast had VMware in their infrastructure environment somewhere. So a very, very well-known household name in tech. But today we're here to talk about what's new. What does the future of VMware look like? How are things changing? Obviously, there's been quite a lot of shift and changes for VMware as a company. And actually, Khara, let's come to you first. Can you give us a little bit of an update of where VMware are at the moment?
Yeah, so as you said, it will be well known within the industry. It obviously started off with workstations, and as it's moved on, more and more solutions have come in. If you take vSphere, for example, we have market share of that solution. It is now incorporating virtualization, security, networking, Kubernetes for application development. So it really is just a wide expanding one. I would say where it's going is probably to follow market trends is moving slightly away from the perpetual renewals, as most people will see, and falling into that subscription route that is up and coming. It's not to say perpetual is no more. It still will be there. It's just like I said, to follow market trends, we're going down that subscription flip.
Yeah. And it's interesting how you said that about how it's not just this one type of technology anymore. You've got your networking, the security, and I think it covers almost every type of technology I would put into my infrastructure if I was looking at it. But it's interesting, when you're looking about how things are changing, innovation is key to that. And Mark, it'd be interesting to get your take, having seen how it's evolved. Where do you see innovation making a real shift with VMware in the future market?
Well, we're just becoming more and more adaptable to modern trends and modern requirements in data centers as people are moving more away from perpetual on-premise type environments, more into hybrid and cloud environments. Well, our technology is underpinning that. Our technology is making that more efficient and making our customers more agile in their approach to their IT and how they can get best solution outcomes for their business. So it's not just about providing good services these days. It's about business outcomes and how we can change how a business goes to market, how it manages its staff, how it does lots of different things within the IT environment. And VMware has always been an innovator. We've always underpinned these conversations. We pretty much invented the sort of phrase software defined, and all we're doing today is just taking that another step further down the road, just to make customers more secure, more happy, more efficient with what they hope to achieve from their IT.
Yeah, no, I agree. And sometimes when you look at that VMware portfolio, it can be quite daunting. There's a very big spread of all the different products and the portfolio elements, and sometimes I think it can be quite overwhelming when innovation is constantly happening. Sometimes at a speed where you blink and there's something new on the market. Nick, you are in conversations with our clients day in, day out. Are you seeing that this is mapping to their needs and their challenges?
Yeah, correct. So, as you say, VMware is constantly innovating with new features and products and things like that. And we've seen a wide variety of uptake on different products, whether it be NSX for micro-segmentation to further secure networks, whether it be east to west traffic or north to south traffic. It's been implemented from that point of view for a security feature. Sometimes people are using VMware for Horizon, virtualization of desktops to reduce in terms of physical hardware and things like that. There's always be a place for the traditional VMware, ESXi, and things like that. But yeah, we are seeing it more and more every single day. Clients are talking about moving software defined, moving towards a hybrid cloud model. With the rise of Kubernetes, the rise of Docker, containers and things like that, the need to automate a lot of things in that, there's a big drive around all things automation, all things containerization, and that VMware Tens is obviously evidence of that. And it continues to get more and more traction within the market. And people are starting to look to these more mainstream products that VMware are providing that obviously fill that need.
Yeah. I think you've touched on a couple of really good pain points we're seeing with clients at the moment there. It's that speed when needing to apply automation. It's the transition and those journeys clients are going on when they're moving from traditional to maybe more cloud-based, whether that's come from a directive from the top down of the business or looking at sustainability and reducing hardware or cost control. And yeah, lots of different stakeholders seem to be in the technology investment conversation at the moment. And I know we've had previous conversations about the shift that we're seeing from capex to Opex, and obviously VMware is reflecting those kind of needs at the moment with the subscription models. But are you seeing that is a general shift? Like, how is VMware mapping what they're doing to the shifts of the different personas?
I think the main focus is, and it's not even just VMware, we're seeing it at Avro, but also for you guys as well. Sustainability is a massive thing, and people are looking out basically to save money. Everything is rising, that, to maintain a well-performing IT setup, they need to look at saving money. So that is the route that people are doing. Everybody wants the end goal, so to speak, of when they're looking at what the costings are to be able to maintain where they're able to save money. So I think customers are wanting it, and VMware are reflecting back into that. So like you mentioned previously, capex versus Opex model, with the flip over, it wouldn't be surprising if other vendors follow suit or VMware do more in that space. But it's really nice to have work with a partner that is wanting to achieve that as well and show that to their end users. I would say it's like a follow suit. VMware are pushing it out, we'll push it out to you guys are pushing it out to your customers, and then it flows backwards nicely.
I'm definitely seeing that in the market. So interacting with different customers and that they're moving far more towards a pay per month and or consumption model of that kind, whether it be even for hardware, services, and now software. Many different software models are, sort of adopt that methodology of selling, and VMware's definitely taking note of that market.
Yeah, I think when it comes to that, it's one of the most important things to consider is probably just the right sizing of everything, because no one wants to think that they're actually paid for or there's redundant technology just sitting there. I remember coming across an article talking about zombie servers and where technology is just sat there because an investment was made just in case, whereas subscription models and being able to flex up and down and have that agility kind of removes a little bit of that excess spend that some people can find. And I know that this is an approach taken with the new vSphere Plus. So I don't know, Mark, if you want to take us through a little bit of how that approach is working.
No, you're very right. Like Nicholas said, orchestration, automation is a big deal these days. Customers are looking to sort of leverage their IT environments and get more for less. I mean, we all know that's the case. And VMware is one of those vendors that's constantly driven that approach. We want customers to have bigger, faster, stronger environments for less money. Now, the shift from the traditional perpetual vSphere to vSphere Plus is a very interesting one, because what we're now doing is we're moving away from that classic perpetual model where customers buy licensing and then do SNS yearly or every 3 years, finding big lumps of money to pay for these services for the software that we provide. But now with the vSphere Plus model, what we're doing is a more flexible model, so customers can expand their environments and shrink their environments a little bit more organically with their growth and how things are migrating within their business. Now, vSphere Plus is also very interesting because, beyond and above vSphere, which we all known and love for best part of 20 years now, what we're doing is we're adding quite a few new bells and whistles, new shiny bits to the product. So customers are now able to take vSphere, move it into vSphere SaaS, take advantage of an Opex capability, but also get better productivity out of their licensing and their software. So, vSphere Plus is a very, very interesting argument for any customer to understand. And what we're seeing in the VMware world at the moment is that shift is happening, and customers are becoming more and more engaged with these kind of conversations. And vSphere Plus also is one of those really great things because it's an easy product to sell. We've been doing it for such a long time. So at VMware and the businesses that we work with, we're all very happy about this. Trust me, it's a positive move.
Yeah, no, it is. I think it sounds really positive, and also it allows people to, almost like try before you buy and have a bit more exposure to some of the more innovative and feature-rich products and elements of that VMware portfolio. And a very candid, open question: are you seeing much pushback from people? Is there a bit of how does it work if they've invested a lot in vSphere and then translating that to the vSphere?
It doesn't really impact what they've been doing for a very long time. I mean, we're not coming along and reinventing the wheel. We're basically just coming along and just changing the way that customers approach their vSphere environments. But what effectively happens to an end user experience is that they have to do a few things slightly differently, but it's not dramatic changes. So they're very familiar with these kind of processes because, like Khara said, VMware are leading the way in this space, but lots of other vendors, in our channel have been doing this a little bit longer than us. So the end user experience is familiar. And, the changes that we're implementing, particularly around vSphere Plus, is not a dramatic change. So business as usual will continue, but they'll just be able to do business as usual a little bit faster and a little bit better than they have been up to date. So, yeah, it's going well. It's going very well.
And I think once the realisation is, as Mark said, that it is just business as usual, there was at the start maybe some is this going to benefit me in the long run, or what is going to happen? But as soon as people see business as usual, or they just read a couple of case studies which have been released of the success of moving over, it kind of gets rid of that fear of something wrong's going to happen, and it really is fine.
Yeah, we often need to challenge apathy in the channel. We know that's a fact. We do it all day, every day. Customers are used to working with environments as they have been for a long, long time. When we come along and disrupt that conversation, there's going to be a little bit of a challenge around that. But like Khara said, more and more customers are seeing that this is the future. This is the way that they need to go. And, the benefits outweigh the problems tenfold. Like I said, everything just gets bigger, faster, stronger from the VMware side of things. And, that's a great outcome for any end user and their IT experience.
And I know, Nick, you've had a couple of conversations with businesses already and some of the clients. Are you seeing that reflected? How have they found that kind of shift?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. That kind of adoption of product moving towards a more SaaS-based model and things like that, it's already happened with the Microsoft products. It's happened with some of the Cisco products. It's happened with a few of the other vendors that they deal with. So moving it in line with that just helps streamline the way that they purchase things and the way that they consume technology as a whole. And it fits very well within the portfolio. And as Mark was saying, there's some other products included in vSphere Plus, such as an entry-level Tanzu. And I mean, Tanzu itself can be quite a difficult product to get into to start with if you're getting into containers for the first time. But by seeding that in to vSphere Plus on a very basic level, gives clients the access to be able to play with it, test it, and decide for themselves whether they want to go along that journey, and perhaps, a new way of working for them. Like we were saying, companies need to be more agile these days in order to gain that edge against their competitors. And, vSphere Plus is one of those products helping them do that.
Absolutely. I mean, what we've seen with container conversation is that it fits very well in large corporate enterprise businesses, but it's filtering down into the mid-sized market and other places where we can, customers want to adopt this technology, but they don't know how to. They don't have the tools in place to do it. And like Nick just said, we are providing through vSphere Plus the building blocks for them to build these environments, to have a look and see if they are suitable, how they can develop them a lot quicker than they have done in the past. And, the future can only be good, because applications at scale is becoming a big thing. Everybody wants to develop their own applications. Everybody wants to take advantage of what those bring to their businesses. And Tanzu and the building blocks that are put into vSphere Plus are absolutely a great starting place. So what we're effectively doing is we're making this product more available to the wider public, to the wider community, so that, they too can now join these conversations, and they can provide these services to their customers and their end users. And that's always a good thing. So
I think as well, the one thing that is also important is the end user's not alone. They have support from you guys, they have support from us, the vendor. So it isn't this thing of, once I do this, I'm going to be on my own, or what if something happens, or I don't know what to do on this bit. They have support. So regardless if they want to move over to this, they're not alone in it. And if there is an issue, there's resource there to help them out.
No,
that's
definitely.
very true, Khara. This is another side of VMware, which is, I think, sometimes overlooked a little bit. But the support that we bring to our end user base when they adopt our technology is second to none. We've got great levels of support. We've got great services and professional services that not only you guys can provide, but VMware can provide to get our customers on these journeys. Customers migrating out of on-prem environments into hosted environments or cloud environments. How do they do it? Well, we've already done this dozens and dozens of times across many different companies around the globe. So we can bring this intelligence, we can bring this expertise and experience to these conversations. So, like Khara said, if a customer is finding this a challenge, and often they do, they can procrastinate about these new concepts for longer than they want to. VMware kind of kicks the door in a little bit and says, look, if you buy our products, and only will you get this capability, we will come along and do what we can to make sure that you get the best out of that technology. So you're, like Khara said, you're not on your own.
No, I think we try and embody that here at Natilik. We kind of position ourselves as that confident guide. Like you say, it's always going to be a journey. There will always be hurdles and bumps along the way, but we're there hoping to be the experts with that more consultative approach, that you aren't on your own. And if somebody was listening to this podcast right now and thinking, do you know what, it's been on my to-do list for ages to switch over and actually make the move, what would be their first steps?
Definitely, yeah. At Natilik, we take the confident guide approach. So, contact us. We can have a look at your environment and see what's best for you. VMware definitely has a product that will fit your organization, and we're more willing to help.
Just from me, I think the first step would be to look at, if you have vSphere in your environment, and like Khara said earlier, we currently have about 80% plus market share in that space, so we're pretty much everywhere. If you have vSphere in your environment, talk to us about vSphere Plus, because it's such a simple thing to get your head around very quickly, and the benefits can be realized also very quickly, and that will hopefully open doors to wider conversations around things like containers, around your networking security, around your cloud management. Cloud management is a huge play at the moment. Again, another tool set that we have in our kit bag that we're looking to expand within our customer base, because it helps them save time and money. As we know today, everybody is on the tightening the purses. Everybody's not got a ton of money like they used to have to spend on IT. Well, this is where VMware can come along and seriously support you. So if you've got vSphere, come and have a talk to us. The commercial conversations are very attractive as well. It's not a case of come to us, we'll give you a renewal, or we'll give you this at twice the price. We're talking to customers realistically and understanding what their budgets look like, and we are meeting those requirements as well as their technical requirements and beyond. So yeah, I would start there.
Okay, thank you so much, because it's so great to see such a coherent and unified approach from Natilik and VMware as a vendor on transforming these clients' journeys. And it's really nice actually to see that the support that is wrapped around moving from vSphere to vSphere Plus and all the additional benefits it can bring. So hopefully our listeners today can get in touch. You can go on to natilik.com, get in contact with us, and we can see what we can transform.
We'll see
Absolutely.
you on the flip side.